As a parent, how do you feel about destroying your children's opportunity of getting a job and essentially being a part of destroying the Australian economy?
Okay. Now, in 1865, there are two British officers that are standing in an office in Bombay in India in one of the hottest days in history. Now, they're experiencing a little bit of reprieve by swirling and listening to the clinking of ice, the ice cubes in their drink. And now, the only problem is that freezers as we know them would not be invented and commonly used until the 1920s. So at exactly the same time as these officers are clinking their drinks with the ice in them, in Boston, ice farmers are cutting ice, like in the movie Frozen, and they're shipping it to different countries all around the world. Now for 55 years, ice farmers dominated the market of global ice shipping, and they actually created a sub-industry for trains, ships and labourers. Now with the invention and the acceptance of the icebox in the late 1920s, this entire industry disappeared almost overnight, and thousands of people tried to stop the introduction of the icebox as they said it was going to destroy the lives of too many people. Now, this has happened time and time again, and the industry always finds ways to innovate and to create change. And in reality, this is going to happen in the future. In business, the only constant is change, and instead of asking how I feel about destroying the industry, what I'm asking is what can I do to create an industry for my children and my children's children so they can be a part of that change. Now let's be honest, we've all been outsourcing for years. Now we outsource our children's education to teachers, we outsource our money to banks, and as the growth of outsourcing is totally inevitable as businesses find ways to survive in this constantly changing environment. Now, we're actually in the position right now where we can influence how outsourcing can be integrated into our economy, and more importantly, how it will impact the roles of our children within our society. So I'm buying a bottle of wine for a dinner party, and the guy behind the counter mentioned that he was graduating from media and arts with a speciality in web design. He said he wouldn't be able to get a job as a lot of that stuff is now done overseas. Now that's a conventional way of looking at it, because I know in that particular industry that there's a huge shortage for project managers and auditors. So people who can manage the projects effectively, or with all these other people that are doing the work, as well as auditing the work to make sure it's being done on time. So whilst outsourcing may have directly impacted the people on the tools that were built in the websites, it's created another total sub-industry in demand. So is the question really how I feel about destroying the economy and the chances for our children? Or is it more a question around the fact that innovation creates change and how we can use and influence that change to understand the jobs that we can create in the future for our children?